Okay, so in the last class, I think we missed one thing, that is the static web hosting. The mistake what we did now, I think I'll tell you what we did actually. Okay, so I'll create the file right now. Okay, I'll show you what mistake we did.
अच्छा, वो फाइल अपलोड करने का.
Yes, the file upload, the one which we this thing. See, okay, so if I do the save, uh, save as, I'm doing it on the desktop only. Okay, all file error.html. Okay, the one. See, this is the one which you're getting. This in the format of this one. I was looking
Okay,
for this notepad format. That is the reason I couldn't do that.
understood.
It was actually already there. The file was already there, but we were looking for something else. Okay, so just I'll show you one thing and then we'll move to the next topic. Okay,
Yeah.
welcome to the next. Now you see, we're getting the index file as well and the error. On
हाँ,
that day
मिल
as
गया.
well as we got this index file and error file. But actually, I was looking
Exactly.
for kind of this icon. So that is the reason I missed it. Okay, so I'll try to upload it in the same bucket here, the one which is doing it. Okay, so let's go here first. Okay. Before that, think of the properties. No? So okay, so this is a static website. Okay, I'll go here, edit, and it's already enabled. Okay, so I'll do the enable part, and the file is already there. Okay, index.html, header.html, and save changes. You want me to do that again, or because I just tried it on my own, I thought since it was not working, I tried my own, it was working fine. So okay,
No
I'll
worries. No worries. That's
I'll
okay. Anyhow,
disable it.
recording is there. I will do it.
Yeah, no, it'll be easy. You have to understand this. Okay, so I'm doing from the scratch. Okay, now you go for the thing, enable it. Okay, it's host a static website. Here I'm putting it index.html error.html. Okay, and I do the save changes. Okay, the moment I did, okay, since but still it won't work. Now it will see, you can see here that we got some link, that browser link. Okay, now if you try that, control V, I'll put it. You can see it's coming access denied. Okay, now I'll see why it's coming. The reason is the file itself is not there.
Okay.
You go to the bucket, I'll go inside bucket. You can see the file itself is not there. So we have to upload this file. That file, so error and index. Open it, and you do the upload. Now it's uploaded. Okay, I'll try to I'll show you. Okay, let's close it, and I'll go back to this one bucket here, and uh, properties. I'll go here and I'll click it. Okay, now I'll try to run it again. You can see it's still it's coming access denied. You can ask why, because if you remember, we did something in the very first class. The moment you click, you have to do action. You have to make public using SEL. Make public. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, it's done. Now close it. Now I have to do for index as well. Action, make public, and make public. This is the one. Okay, now that's close, and I have to okay, go to the properties. I'll go here. I'll link it. Now Control T, Control V. You see, okay, welcome to the website. So now there it's come. Our job as a DevOps engineer, we have to host the website on the server. So you have the server, you have the bucket, and you have to do that. So this is kind of real stuff. So now you can ask me why this thing? Anyways, because that's not our job. That's going to develop by the developer.
Okay.
It's not our job. Okay, it's
Okay.
website, the development code, and all the it's going to
Okay.
be done by the developer and the tester. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, now since you can ask me why what is the use of error file then? what I'll do is if I remove index.html, okay, now I'm deleting it. Now the browser won't be able to find the index.html file because it's not there. I've not put it. Okay. Now what I'll do is it's not right. Okay. Nothing.
Forbidden.
No. This about it was you. I don't think you can see this. I was talking about this one. Yeah. Okay. Now if I do that, see error file, incorrect password. So just
Mm.
for your template and all, I shown you. Okay. So this is the one. I hope you understand this part. This part,
Yeah, yeah,
because we missed this one, and it was important because as a DevOps engineer, you should know like maybe definitely you won't be able to like you're not gonna host the static website. It's not gonna happen nowadays. Nobody does that. But anyways, the dynamic website or static website, you're gonna happen. You're gonna host it, okay, on some server or probably on the bucket and all. So that this process you should know how it is working. What is the job of your being a like the cloud engineer, the DevOps engineer, and all those things. Okay, now I think now you're getting the idea on how the things are working now. Okay, fine.
okay.
Let's go to next topic now today. We'll start the EC2. I think I made some slides here. Okay, fine. Okay. So EC2. Now what when we talk about EC2, okay, I did some of the stuff last time. If you remember some of the basic stuff and all. Okay, in the very first class, like just for your understanding, so that you'll get your hand dirty. Okay, now
Correct.
coming to the EC2. Okay, so let's
Okay.
go one by one. And okay, so what I'll do is okay, let's open the pane first. Okay, now coming to the EC2. EC2, what is EC2? EC2 is it's EC2 is nothing but EC2, Elastic Cloud Compute. Since the name itself suggests, okay, elastic cloud compute. Elastic means like and you can actually scale it. Okay, the cloud means like you're working on some kind of platform that is going to be cloud. The compute is nothing but like you can actually scale the compute power of any machine. Now comes to the like come to your laptop. When you go to the market, and this thing you already know, like when you go to the market and you buy some laptop, if the size of the compute power is of the 4 GB RAM, it's probably it cost around 25,000, 30,000. But if you go for the 16 GB, 8 GB and all, so it probably it goes for the 40 GB, 40K. So this is how it's working here as well. Okay, and
Okay.
so any see so like any laptop cost is driven by the high compute. Okay, so like we can say that like low compute and we can say low laptop cost and like high compute and then we can say high laptop cost. So in the very same way, here in the EC2 also it's working. So we're gonna talk about it how the things is going to be. So these are the things like okay. We'll come to know like what are the things and all. But for the time being, we'll go with the very basics and all so that you'll be very much familiar with it. Okay. Um, okay. So you can see my screen or like still
I can see. I can. It's
okay,
visible.
okay. Yeah, okay. So now okay, what is an instance? Instance is a virtual server for running application on Amazon EC2. Okay, it's just like the one which I just now said, Elastic Cloud Compute. It's nothing but a virtual machine on cloud.
Yeah.
Like okay, earlier we had the physical servers and all. Nowadays we have the virtual servers which is running on the cloud. It can also be
Okay.
understood like in a tiny part of the large computer, a tiny part which has own drive,
Okay.
network connection, OS system, but it is actually all virtual. So imagine you are surrounded by all the machines and all. Definitely you can't touch, but you can actually see the things and what how the things are working. Okay, this is one.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So let's come to the bigger part. This thing. What is the when it comes to the EC2, there are actually four types. Okay, on demand, spot instances, to be precise. And this is an interview question, okay? Like, what are the types of instances that are available in the market? That's what you can say. Like,
Okay.
okay, dedicated 10 instances. Okay. Now, come to this. Okay, I'll tell you one scenario, then it'll be easier for you. Notepad. Okay. Now, okay. Simple. I'm going with very basics and all. Then you'll come to know. Okay. Marriage plan and a ticket. Okay. Now, if you do the things in advance, okay. Now, what will happen? What are you gonna do? You will actually like plan in advance, right? You pay the money, okay, and you book the ticket. Okay. This is all
Correct.
this is advanced plan. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll come to the another part, like which is unplanned. Unplanned. Okay, where what will happen? You are gonna book the tickets, like at the last moment. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now the things uh, now things will be like you might think like okay, what is the why I'm talking about this, because it's bit actually quite it's gonna relevant to all the four cases. That is the reason I actually explained, so that it will be easier for you to relate these terms to these terminology which I just now have written. Okay. Now we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Now imagine the advanced plan. Advanced plan is like the like you have planned in advance. So what is gonna happen when if I say, like, the best part is like you will book the tickets for sure, right? And
Correct.
the price is going to be cheaper, right? The price going to you will surely book the ticket, and the best part is like the price is going to be cheap because you are actually planning in advance, so that you definitely will get some kind of the discount and all. So and so and coming to the unplanned part, like what will happen here now? You will book the tickets, but what will happen? You there might be case like you won't be able to get the ticket. That might be case. I'm not saying. I'm just you won't be able to. It's there is a 50.
Okay. 50-50
Yes,
chances.
yes, yes. So it is 50% chances. Okay. And here the cost will be
Slight higher.
cost will be more. Sorry, you were saying something. Sorry.
I said the cost will be slightly higher.
Yes, absolutely. The cost will be higher. So this is the why I told you, just was to you can relate it. Okay. So these are the things.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now comes to this. Okay. And one more thing. I think I missed one thing. Why the cloud is will come to the market? I think you have to tell you one thing. Okay. uh, Before that. Okay. So see, when you talk about the elastic cloud computer, I think see, imagine there will be earlier, like around 10, 15 years back, when the cloud, then there was not much awareness of the cloud and all. Okay. So what used to happen, like if there'll be like Mintra was there, the Flipkart was there, and the big billion days was always been there. Okay. Now what will happen now for big billion days? Okay. Now what will happen now? Mintra, what they'll do? Mintra, what they want to do is like they plan the Diwali is coming, so they'll plan the big billion days, and they'll increase the like they'll because we know that like if there'll be any server, if there'll be server, okay, and
Mm.
this one, okay, and if I write it, if earlier earlier the case when the Diwali was not there, okay, there were 10 users per minute, okay, but it was before Diwali, okay. Now if I after like during Diwali period, okay, since it is big billion days going on, okay, so now it's going to be 100 users per minute, okay. This is that, okay. Now what will happen here? Now you can check, you can sense the difference, what is going to happen. If the 10, this thing is there, 10 users are there per minute, that means this server, okay, this server can handle it. This server, one server, the one server can handle this load. But
Correct.
when
Okay.
what will happen is that during the 100 user will come, this server won't be able to handle it. What is going to happen? This server will go down, and what will happen? It will going to impact the business for the Myntra. So what they
Okay. The
used to
traffic will
do,
be more.
yeah. So what they used to do is like, they used to increase this physical server during that time, during only the Diwali time. Okay, now, now Diwali is gone. Now again comes to the picture, what they will do with this, the extra server, because that was physical one. It was wasted. The infra got wasted. So ultimately, it boils down to the same thing, which is like, whenever there'll be a new festival, only then they can use the servers. So ultimately, they lost the money. The wastage is there, the electricity bill and all the infra, the data center and all those things. So anyways, it's going to be wasted. Okay. So to overcome this challenge, we got the cloud. Now everything is migrated to the cloud. The one which I already told you, we discussed about this thing. The application, they are moving their data to the cloud. Since now comes to this part. Okay, so this is the reason that this cloud comes into the picture. Okay, now comes to the next thing. When we talk about the cloud part, like this elastic compute, there are actually four types: on demand, spot instance, reserved, and the dedicated one. So I don't have to explain this on demand. The reason you already know, because when we used to create the EC2 instances, it was, we can call it, it was an on demand. And the, yes,
Yeah.
the price will be higher, but the thing is like, here, okay, here I wrote something. Uh, uh, what, uh, See here, you just can't ignore it. You won't be able to get the 50-50 per chance. But here, Amazon, like, they provide n number of machines, so there is high chances like you will get the machine. Okay, just you'll get the machine.
Okay.
The only issue is like, the price will be higher. Okay, since you can say like, why we're anyway, for us it's free. Yeah, because we are using the free tier. If you go for the like real time scenario, no, then we use T1, T3 dot micro, T3 series. But if you use the other series like, M1, A1, C1, they are chargeable, and so on, gonna charge you quite more. Okay, so this is the one.
Okay.
So okay, so this is what's coming. So this you understood, right? Coming to this part, like on demand. Now coming to the spot
On
instance.
demand. Yeah.
Yeah, coming to the spot instances. The spot instances, like, the name itself, it suggests instances is nothing but where you actually, you looking for the servers on the spot. That means what? You actually, you're going to the, like, imagine, I'll tell you the case. Imagine you go to the manager, you travel the whole night and you didn't book you forgot to book the ticket. You went to the manager's, like, manager's room. The hotel was there. You went to manager's room and you told them like, I need a room. Manager told like, okay, fine, we'll give you that room on a cheaper rate. Not the, okay, the scenario will be different. Or you tell them like, I don't have money and all. Give me the room. Like, I don't have the, like, I want to book the ticket. Managers say, okay, we'll give you the room. We'll give you the room, but only on condition. We are ready to take the less amount as well. But the only issue, if there'll be a new customer and all the rooms will be filled, then I have to ask you to vacate.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I have to ask you to vacate. So here, what comes, the negotiation part. Okay, you can ignore the negotiation part because anyway, as I told you earlier, the Amazon is having too much of like n number of machines, so they won't like, disappoint you. But yes, the cost will be higher, and they can, and that's what, like, and when you talk about the spot instances, those guys, those who are the business guys, what they do is like, they actually look for the server during the night time, so they'll get the server at a cheaper rate, but during the daytime they will let it go. Okay, my business is done. I'm letting go of the server. I don't want the server anymore. Again, tomorrow night I'll come and because that's how their business would be. Because sometimes we can see like, the shop is running from morning 9 to 6, 9 to 9. You can say that, right? In the very same way, there could be some business, like, they're gonna say like, it's gonna run from 9 to 6 p.m. and we want the server only from this thing, and it's coming, and we're gonna purchase the server only the night time, so that the price will be cheaper. You understood this part?
Okay.
On demand and the
Yeah.
spot. Yeah, on demand is same
Yeah. I
thing. The one
understand.
which, yeah, the one which you're gonna ask the guy, ask the server, Amazon server, like we give it to us on the spot, not the on spot, like on demand, like whatever your needs is, you wanna ask it, and you can ask anytime. Okay, here also you can ask anytime, but here the price will be cheaper because you are actually going for at the very odd time. Okay, let's go with the reserved instances. Now, reserved instances, okay, we'll go back here. Reserved. So here, what you did when there is a marriage, you're going for a marriage, you book the ticket. You booked, and what you did, you pay the money and book the ticket. It was in advance. The very same way here as well. When you actually reserve the instances, that will come to you in the cheaper rate. Okay, in the cheaper rate. But the only issue here, and yeah, one more thing, when you book these instances, this reserve, I'm talking about in this one, reserve instances, the only issue is what will happen now. Not the issue. Uh, the best part, like it will be there for your business perspective for almost like 1 to 3 years. It will be there, and you can book the instances. Okay, you can book these instances prior 1 to 3 years, and it will be there at the very cheap cost. Okay,
Okay.
now comes to the issue part. You can say, what is the issue? Now, issue is what if your business goes to the some other direction and you don't want these servers, but yet at that point of time, like you can, because anyways you have planned it 1 year earlier, one or probably like 2 years earlier. So that comes the the con here. You don't want this service now, but you have already paid it. So here the refund policy won't be there. Here you can find it. You can, here when you book the ticket, if you want to cancel the ticket, definitely you get some kind of amount here, some refund amount. But here you won't get any refund amount. That is the only problem here. Okay, now coming to the
Okay.
dedicated instances. Now dedicated instances, like it's kind of like these servers are for you. It's, these servers are actually dedicated for you. You only booked it probably in the middle of something. And here, one more thing, these three servers, okay, you, whenever you book it, whether it's on demand, spot one, or the reserved, or whenever you actually book the tickets, you can actually share this thing, share the instance with a different guy. But when you talk about the dedicated instances, you cannot share your instances with any other guy, whether being a developer or not, until unless you are not sharing the username and password with some other guy. You can't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the things which you have to know. Okay, and and this one which I told you earlier, like since it's the reserve, so it comes like the cheaper. Dedicated part is also cheaper, like since it's for you only, and you are actually uh, dedicating those servers to yourself quite long back. If you're doing it on like on the spot, then even that's fine, but it's the price gonna change it. This is the one. Okay, so these are
Okay.
all like four types of server for you. Okay, now let's go back to this one. So this is the one. So like Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute is a web service. Now it comes to the web service. Now what is the meaning of web service? So see, any application where you have to log in. Okay, I'm telling you in very plain English. Any application where you have to log in, it's known as a web service. Okay, you should know this web service. The reason is like it's a technical term, and it web service include too many things.
This
And
question comes up.
not the question. I'm just for your understanding. I'm telling you because the thing is,
Okay.
uh, uh, there is kind of if I tell you, I think it was there. I guess can I show nothing? It was an S3. I guess I don't know if it is there. Yeah, here. See here. If you see here, see. Okay, the one which you discussed for Amazon S3. Okay, so one which you see now, the REST API, get, put, post, select, delete, all these terminology. Okay, it's kind of web service. It is a web service, but it is completely into the development. Since being a DevOps engineer, you should know these things. Nobody is asking you to work on it, but at least you should know how to, what are these things. It shouldn't be like it looks alien to you, and you should be, at least you are in position to explain the things. What are the things? So these are nothing but methods. Methods. Okay. 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 One second. Oh, it's a little bit difficult to see. You don't have to know this, Jeremiah. Please don't get frightened over this. Please static void
Okay.
main.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, just I'm telling you. Okay, so here. Okay. Now what will happen here? So this is a method name. Okay, main. Okay, this is a method name. You don't have to know. I'm just telling you. Please don't get frightened. I'm just telling you. Okay, just relax. So this is called
Okay.
method. My method name main. Okay, and here I write the code. So developer's job. This is the job of developer. Job of developer, which they gonna write the code over here. Okay. Now since they are writing the code. Okay. Now this is the job of developer. So what your things is going to be like? They have written this code. They have written this code inside one method. The name of this method is main. Name of the method is main here. Okay, they have written the code, and the job of developer, they have written the code. In the very same way, if there be any other different scenario, okay, they these all are method names: get method, put method, post method, select method, delete method. So the imagine, okay, now you will understand. If you have to delete some query or some stuff, what method you gonna choose?
Delete.
Absolutely. Okay, if you have to post some information, you have to put some information over the internet, what are you gonna choose? Okay, this
Will
confusing.
post or
I
will
can
go to the put?
put or post. I can understand even this thing. But okay, anyways, you understood the basic part. You understood. Okay,
I
so here,
understood. Yeah.
yeah. So basic part you understood. So what they're doing here now? So the developer, they write the code over here. Okay, and these are the methods. Okay, the name of the method is main. The very same way here, the method will be
Means the
there.
algorithms will be set already.
Yeah, no, not it's not about the algorithm. Algorithm is completely different. We are not talking about algorithm here. They
Okay.
this is just like method name will be there. In that method, the developer will write the code. Okay, developer will write the code, and method, that method, you have to work on it. You have to work on it. Not now, probably later, but not now. Okay, you just have to
Okay.
remember this method. Okay, you can say like,
Sure.
okay, some error, some I told you earlier that in the Jenkins, the some error will come. The Jenkins when I'm gonna study in the Jenkins, when you build the job, at that point of time some errors come. Okay, forget the building job. I'm going a bit technical now. Just leave it alone. When we are working on Jenkins, when while running the code and all, you will get some error because you have to run the code. You don't have to write the code, but you have to run the code. Okay. While running the code, you will get through some errors. Okay. There, when you get the error, you'll come to know where these errors is going to be. There could be error. These error could be in get method, the put method, post, select, delete. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. And these all methods are part of the web service. That's the whole story. That's the reason
Okay.
I told you all Ramayana and all. These are things
Okay.
which you
Okay.
have to know. Okay. You should go because no, we should know these things because ultimately you when you will be technical completely, so they expect you to know these things, and you have to you should be in position to tell those answers. Okay. No, fine. Oh, you have to go. Okay, this one is done. So here coming, Amazon Elastic Compute. Amazon is a web service that provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud. So resizable is nothing but which I told you. You can actually scale it, scale down, scale up. The one which I told you, you can actually increase the size of your machine, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, based on upon your business
Okay.
perspective. Okay, this is the one. Okay. Amazon EC2 reduces the time required to obtain the boot new server instances to a minute. So the same way, the like the one which I told you, when we have to terminate the services, when you have to boot the services, when you have to start the services, when you have to stop the service, allowing you to quickly scale capacity. The same thing, you can change the capacity both up and down as your computing requirement change. So business perspective, this is the thing. Okay. Now coming to this one, on demand, reserve, spot, and dedicated account. Now this is very important question for you. They're gonna ask like, you can actually expect question from here like which is cheaper, which is higher, and you can explain what are the types of instances. So these are the one. On demand, reserve, spot, dedicated host. So the name itself suggests the on demand allows you to pay a fixed rate by the hour with no commitment. You can just you can use it whenever you have a requirement. You can use it and then you can flush it out. That's the on demand. Reserve provides you with a capacity reservation, offer a significant discount on the hourly charge for an instant 1 year period term. So you can actually reserve your instances much before in advance, and it's going to be like like in 1 year, 3 year term, it's going to be, and it's quite that like an offer a significant discount, so it'll be cheaper for you. But the only thing which I told you earlier, the con here, what if you are now it is of no use those servers, because you might have upgraded your application and you know that these servers which you have actually reserved it is of no use for you. So what you're gonna do is the money which you have spent it on these reserved servers, it will be wasted. So the money will be wasted because there will be no refund policy here. Spot enables you to bid whatever price you want for instance capacity, provide for even greater saving if your application have flexible start and end time. That means here when I talking about the manager part, like manager is ready to allow you to his hotel at a very cheaper rate, but only thing is like if you're you have to vacate it, and if there is another server, another probably another new user comes and he's bidding the price for I'm ready to pay you more. So here you have to negotiate it. So here you can see here enables you to bid whatever price you want for instance capacity, providing for a greater saving if your application has flexible start and end time. So that's what the one which I told you, you will go for the server at the night time. And like in the North Virginia, I'm telling you on like a real time scenario. In the North Virginia, there are some servers which are actually available in the night time, and you can actually go for it, and you can actually allocate those parts for yourself, and it will come at a very cheaper price. But yes, since as I told you earlier, just now I said it's coming only the night time. So if moment that comes the daytime, so the that spot instances will go haywire, and it might not fit for you. So you have your business will affect it. So that is the reason it's coming. If your application have flexible start and end timing, if your application running from particular time from 9 to 9, 9 to 6 and all, and only at that time you can choose these servers. Okay. And coming the dedicated
Okay.
one, the physical EC2 dedicated for your use, and the dedicated host can help you reduce cost. Okay. Physical, you can see, right? You can see the screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, okay. Physical EC2 service ready for use. Dedicated host can help you reduce cost by allowing you to use existing server-bound software license. That means what? There'll be some servers will be actually dedicated for you, and but the only issue is like you can't share this servers with anyone. But these things you can do that even if they have a
But this will reduce the cost.
yeah, this is a reducible the cost. No, it's not about the cost here. It's just about the if you want if you have some very confidential data and all, you have to you don't want to share it with anyone because the data is very confidential and you don't want to share it with anyone. That is the reason. But here the prices will come, pricing will come. Here the only the security part comes. Okay, the security will always be there, but only since you already know that like instances are running in you can like in any company that in Infosys, you are coming in the morning, I'm coming in the afternoon. So and we both are working on the same instances, and we have a different account. So you're gonna use it like Syed at the rate Infosys. You are logging on these servers, the on-demand servers. But and when I'm coming in the afternoon shift, I'm logging to the same on-demand servers with Asad at the rate Infosys.com, and when I'm doing it. So here it's not about the thing. So we are using the same server, but here the dedicated host, it's not the case. It won't share with anyone. That is the only case here. You understood, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. SSD, this one. Okay, this one for this one. Let's go back here and let's start create the instance. Okay, so I'm going to the launch instances. I'll tell you where. Okay, first server. Okay, so AMI. I'll come to this. Okay, don't worry. I'll come to this. AMI is a machine image. They're talking about the operating system, which I told you. Okay, and this one,
Yeah.
the instance type, which just now I said, this is the T1, T2, and all those stuff.
Mhm.
Because in the real time scenario, you're not gonna work on the T2, you're gonna work on the very high stuff and on. It's going to be A3, A1 kind of stuff and on. So here, okay, these are things. Okay, now coming to next
Okay.
part, the key pair. Okay, there's a field here. You can if you want, you can select the other one. Okay, the thing. See, you can see here
Okay.
92 CPU, 192 GB memory, RAM, and all the things. You can see
Yes.
the
Yes.
even the price itself. You can see 2.86 USD per hour. Okay, here it's coming the different one. And if I'm choosing 16 GB memory, see 0.725 USD per hour. So it all depends on us. Since we are the Indians, so we have to use the free tier. Okay. Now if I to use the create new key pair. Okay. Key pair, I'll talk. Key pair is as well, it's kind of like password. Okay. So I'll use the password. Mm, First KP. Okay. And this is the PPK. And always for we're gonna use attachment, we're gonna use the the PPK format, because we are gonna use the putty. And if you're using the git back for that purpose, we are going to use PEM. Okay. So since the
The
company,
server.
yes. So for that part, if you want to use, if you want to use, you can do that. That's not a case. But for here, because in the company as well, most of the time it's on the PPK.